We are having an unbelievable good time in the precious metals markets right now. We're going to look at about 12 reasons why it's happening now, but also why it will continue to happen. First, thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to join me here in the basement. I hope you feel like you found a home away from home where we love to talk about the precious metals, crypto, all kinds of fun stuff. But please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. I want you to come back. Let's start by taking a look at the silver price, but we're also going to talk about big news out of Goldman Sachs, big news out of El Salvador, and even bigger news, probably the biggest news story that will impact the precious metals here in the coming 5 to 10 years that nobody else is talking about, and it's coming from the crypto sector, but it's good for physical silver, physical gold. I'll explain it to you as we move on through through the video. Easy for me to say. Let's check out the silver price, and if this doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what will. Guys, silver continues to do well. Here in the spot market, we are hovering right around $41 per ounce. But what I wanted to show you is something that'll make you even happier. If we go back 6 months, look at how beautiful that chart is. Okay, if we go back one whole year for silver, look at how beautiful that chart is. What we're seeing on all these charts is a steady, consistent upward movement. Look, this started back at the beginning of the year around $28 per ounce for silver, and many of you remember back when silver was 20, even as low as $15 per ounce. We predicted this would happen. I feel more confident than ever that this will continue to happen as we move into the coming months, quarters, and years. Let's see if we can get a read on the gold price from Kitco. You can bear with me here as I struggle through, and come on. Bid ask KGX. What is that? Silver, platinum. Why can't we find the gold price here? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Let's go back to the main Kitco site. And, well, let's just search. What the heck? We got time, right? We love hanging out in the basement. Well, you know where else we can? No, we can't. Hold on here, guys. Search. Okay, gold price. Oh, boy. Let's see what comes up here. Gold isn't out of the woods yet. You know what we'll do? Hold on, basement dwellers. We won't give up. We never give up. Gold price quote. We'll go out to Google. Old handy Dan. Nah, we're not going there. We'll go. Here we go. Kitco. All right. Let's see what gold's doing. Wow. Wow. Up almost $50 per ounce. Unbelievable. What a day. And like I said, guys, we got a lot of big news stories. I'm letting everybody fill up in the room. Thank you to everybody who's here. Please don't forget, share this. I already begged you to subscribe. But let's look at the 1-year chart of gold. Man, unbelievable. Again, we just see a steady, consistent uptick in the price. Both gold and silver, something very critical. The reason why that steady upward move is so important is that spikes are great. We love fireworks. We love rocket ships. We love when the price of anything, it's exciting, it's fun. But you know what happens inevitably when something spikes up, which is not what we're dealing with right now. What happens when something spikes up is the law of gravity kicks in and it goes right back down. The reason why that gradual move up in both the silver and the gold price are so important is that gave time as it moved up, came back, went higher, came back, went up, came back. That gave time for the weaklings, right? The chicken littles, right? The sheeple to get out, to be replaced by people who really believe in the long-term story for the price of gold and silver. And here's just a couple reasons we're going to fly through. Guys, we got stuff from everywhere that we can be excited about. We're going to go through it all right now. Let's start with the big news story that came out just recently. Here we go. Here we go. From Spencer, the dollar has lost 50%. Uh-oh. Are we up on the right screen? There we go. Yes, the dollar has lost 50% of its value versus gold in the past 3 years. What? Is that accurate? The dollar lost half of its value versus gold in the past 3 years. Understand where we are. You now live in a third world country. Okay, and here's the chart proving it. The US dollar versus gold. Wow. Well, oh man. Ratio, as you can see, down easily by 50%. But wait a minute, guys, there's something coming. Okay, there's something big coming because the hold on, the sheeple. It's hard for me to make my sheep noise today. Well, anyway, they haven't really come into silver and gold yet, and I've got a chart right now that's going to prove it to you, which tells us when these people come back, guys, when the Costco, and we're going to talk about Costco later, people come back into the metals, it will be a flood of new money. Right? Remember something very important. If you're invested in gold and silver now, you are early. If you invested in gold and silver, if you've been down here in the basement with me for the last 3 years and you bought precious metals or you bought precious metal mining stocks, we were living in a ghost town. Sorry, having some technical issues today. I apologize. Upstairs, Susie, she's out and about, so I don't have my trusty right-hand woman who I love dearly. But nonetheless, we were in a ghost town. Okay, it really was. But there's a reason why that's so good. That's so important, right? Because we were such a small number. Rick Rule talks about it. Whatever, 0.5%, 1%, however you want to quantify it, of the world's financial assets, a slither being invested into the precious metals. That's such low number, right? The benefit to that, it's called the law of small numbers. It's much easier to have a massive increase on a small number like 1 or 1%. When it goes to 3%, that's a 300% increase. 5%, that's a 500% increase. And I want to show you something that absolutely, and this is with gold, right? And silver, it's even more extreme. But take a look at this chart, which actually came from Zero Hedge, which undoubtedly shows us, says, think the move in gold is notable. Just wait until the ETFs start chasing. This is incredible. Okay. The blue line is the spot gold price. Let me draw on here for you. That would be this line. Okay. The black line, that line, are the spot gold ETF holdings. Okay. Do you see, right? Throughout history, those two really typically remain the same. But as you can see, as the gold price shot up, we have yet to see the ETF holdings shoot up. We have a massive opportunity. These two lines will come together at some point. But if that black line moves up towards that blue line, these are the number of ounces, right, within those ETFs. It could be absolutely shocking. Okay, let's move on. Goldman Sachs talks about $5,000 gold. Let's pull up that article from Bloomberg. Goldman Sachs says gold near 5,000. Think about what that'll do to silver. Is possible if the Fed standing damaged. Now, what I'm going to do for you, because we got so much to cover, we got to go through just the highlights at this point. Here's a summary of that article, okay, from Bloomberg AI. What Goldman says is gold could rally to almost 5,000 an ounce if the Fed's independence were damaged and investors shifted. This is crazy. This is the law of small numbers, like we just talked about. Just a small portion of their holdings from treasuries into bullion, Goldman Sachs said. A scenario where Fed independence is damaged would likely lead to higher inflation, lower stock and long-dated bond prices. We're going to talk about the scariest thing happening in the world right now, the bond market. We'll talk about that later. And an erosion of the dollar's reserve currency status, analysts said. Well, Mr. Goldman Sachs, and we love the fact that the first 4 letters of your company's name spell out the word gold. Okay, check. Gold, this is the crazy part. Goldman Sachs estimates that if 1% of the privately owned United States Treasury market were to flow into gold, the gold price would rise to nearly $5,000 per ounce, assuming everything else is constant. And let me tell you this. I don't know if we're going to get to it in today's live stream. I might have to do another one tomorrow. The bond market is in big trouble. And it's not just in the United States. The world is in big trouble. We've got $330 trillion in debt in the world. We're in a debt bubble. Nobody could ever pay all that back. And the sad part is the only way it can be paid back is with dollars that are diluted, that are worthless. Okay, or worthless, however you want to say it, or read into my intonation and how I pronounce that. And when the dollar becomes worth less because of all that, like Goldman Sachs is telling us, right, that only means that if you choose to use the United States dollar as the unit of measure for the value of your ounces of gold and silver, that the value is only going to go up. All right, we got to talk about big news out of El Salvador and big news out of the crypto world that could just totally, in a good way, rock both the silver and the gold markets. Before I do that, check this out. If you've seen this, I love this. And Susie, who's not here, I can talk for her. That's a 5-ounce silver bar from channel sponsor First Mint. Hey, look, I'm able to be down here making this gold and silver content because of the generous support from our sponsors. First Mint is a silver mint in Las Vegas, Nevada that makes world-class silver bullion products. But what's even cooler about First Mint is that they are owned by First Majestic Silver. Everybody's heard of First Majestic Silver. Everybody knows who Keith Neumeyer is, one of the most respected names and figures in the precious metal sector. So First Majestic Silver mines the silver in Mexico, ships it directly to Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States, where it's transformed into these awesome silver products. They've got silver rounds, they have silver bars, a wide variety of products, but they are all unique to First Majestic. I'm going to show you their website here quickly, where you can go check this out for yourself. Here we are. There's their Year of the Dragon coin. They also have, round. There's their bars. Here is their Hail to the Chief round. That Indian on the back is one of my favorite pieces of silver art in the world. The Las Vegas round and the Year of the Snake, okay? They have free shipping on all orders. That's firstmint.com, over $199. Great selection, great service, a company you can trust, and there's a secret discount code that you can use. VIP RB. Think VIP Ron's Basement, but the code is VIP RB. So thank you, First Mint. I love this 5-ounce bar. This is like the coolest, most robust, chunky. I mean, it's just awesome. Susie loves it too. It feels good. And don't forget, this silver has never been touched by the LBMA or the COMEX. It's the freshest silver around. From the mine to the mint to you. Okay, guys, let's talk about El Salvador. El Salvador, remember, they were the big crypto country. Well, they shocked the precious metals world recently when this came out, that the government of El Salvador, let's get the right screen up here. Here it is. Okay, here we go. El Salvador's strategic gold move, what it means for crypto treasury management. Let's just read a couple paragraphs here, because this is shocking. They made waves by buying $50 million in gold, a bold move that combines traditional assets with the crypto world. The country's decision to diversify its reserves could have lasting consequences for crypto-friendly businesses. Okay, why did they buy gold? This isn't just a random purchase. It's the first major gold buy in over 3 decades for El Salvador, and they've also been buying Bitcoin, which some people refer to as digital gold, and it aligns with President Nayib Bukele's vision for a more stable economy. This gold purchase, following a history of Bitcoin investments, shows a desire to hedge against potential volatility, whether it be from Bitcoin market itself or the dollar. And here we go. Here's a great one from our friend, Make Gold Great Again, on X. El Salvador, here we go. El Salvador turns to gold with a $50 million buy. So there's the president of El Salvador looking graciously. Guys, the world financial system, the world monetary fiscal systems are changing right now like never, ever, ever before. But probably the biggest story right now that's not getting attention, but I believe shows what's happening in a big, big way. And it has to do with crypto and it has to do with precious metals. And I believe very good for precious metals was this. Ronnie Stoferle posted this on X, and the Financial Times is reporting that stablecoin group Tether. Do you know who Tether is? Tether is behind the world's biggest US dollar backed stablecoin, USDT. Every one of those coins, the USDT, is backed by one US dollar. Okay. But they are now holding talks to invest in gold miners because Tether also has a product called XAUT, which is a gold-backed, 100% gold-backed stablecoin. Each one of those XAUT tokens is backed by 1 ounce of gold, and it's held in a Swiss vault. It's audited. It's transparent. It's everything. And guys, look, whether you like crypto, don't like crypto, I'm not here to argue that one bit. But I don't think that we can argue with the current president in the White House, who is the crypto president, and with how the world is now moving more and more towards crypto, that crypto's here to stay. But why is this good for gold? Why is this good for silver? Because these actual stable coins that are backed by physical metal are going to become more and more popular. Whether or not you agree with it, at the end of the day, the digitization and the and gold and silver on the blockchain are going to create more and more demand for the physical metals, because what they do is they combine the benefits of the blockchain of crypto with the benefits of owning physical metal. Look, I'm not here again, not a political statement, not a crypto pro con argument whatsoever. But we do know that right now, for instance, XAUT has over $1 billion, I think $1.3 billion worth of gold that they are holding. As these products become more and more popular, that will mean they will have to acquire more and more gold, which explains why they're looking to invest in gold miners. The same can be said with silver. I think at the Kinesis silver token that they have has over $155 million worth of silver backed by real physical silver. I'm not sponsored by these companies. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But what I am telling you, that as the blockchain and crypto continue to be adopted, these real world backed tokens are going to become more popular. And the good news for you as a silver and gold investor, whether or not you choose to participate, is that it is going to take more and more and more metal off the market. And as a matter of fact, the boss of the crypto company, Tether, they had profits of almost 6 billion, but in the past, he has called gold the natural Bitcoin. So some people like to refer to gold as Bitcoin as digital gold. He's calling gold natural Bitcoin. So very, very interesting. I think the biggest story going, I think you don't have to agree with me, but I think independent of any argument about crypto, independent of any political views, that as we look out 5 to 10 years from now, this could be could have a major impact on overall demand for silver and gold, and could have a major, major impact within the precious metals sector. Okay, guys, man, there's so much more to cover. We got Costco, a CNBC. Hold on here. Let's see what this next article is. Well, we'll go back to that one. We've got CNBC, right, with a big article about gold, gold at an all-time. The mainstream media starting to pick up on all this. Gold is at an all-time high. Here's what a Costco bar bought a year ago is worth now. They're talking about premiums and taxes and all kinds of stuff. But the important part here is, right, this is CNBC, number one. Number two, they're talking about Costco. What this indicates to us is that we are in the early stages of mainstream, of the generalist moving into the precious metals. People are really going to wake up when they start going to the grocery store, right, in the coming 2 to 3 years, and they thought that the inflation we had after the C-19 crisis was bad. It's going to be nothing like it. Okay. The other big issue that we have going on right now in the world, we are, guys, look, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but okay, the bond market is the most important market in the world, not the stock market. Okay, everybody thinks, oh, everybody, that's what all the noise is made about. The stock market did this, the stock market did that. But the reality is the bond market is magnitudes bigger and magnitudes more important. And we've got big issues happening right now in the bond market. Here we go. Yep. Here's an article from Reuters. And this will bleed through to the metals prices. This will ultimately result in money printing. But Reuters points out global bond markets stabilize for now as a fiscal storm looms. We've got here. I'll just read this. A sense of calm settled over the world's biggest bond markets on Wednesday, but concerns about fiscal health in major economies, from Japan to Britain in the United States, kept long-dated borrowing costs pinned at near multi-year highs. Worries about Japan's fiscal position were revived after Prime Minister, I can't even try to pronounce that, close aide said he intended to resign from his post, pushing Japan's 30-year government bonds to record high, well above 3%. What they're going to do, the world, think about this. This is real simple, okay? The world can't afford higher interest rates with all that debt, $330 trillion in debt. The United States is approaching $40 trillion in debt. We'll round up. The United States cannot afford to pay 5% interest on $40 trillion in debt. That would be $2 trillion a year. What the world is going to have to do, because nobody wants to buy 30-year treasuries. Who in their right mind would loan the United States government money for 30 years? What do you think the dollar is going to be worth in 30 years? Look at what happened over the last 30 years. Look at what happened over the last 3 years. The dollar lost 50% of its value versus gold. So what these world governments are going to have to do is print money. In the United States, that'll be the Fed, to buy the long-dated securities. That's called yield curve control. It ends in disaster. But at minimum, okay, common sense, when the Feds and the central banks around the world are printing money to buy the bonds to keep the rates on the bonds down, that printing of money, that's like if you print anything, right? If I had, if there were only 10 Mickey Mantle 1954 baseball cards in the world, but suddenly Topps or whoever said, oh, we're going to print 10 more, that would make the value go down. I didn't have to tell you that. That's common sense. So the takeaway here is that the world, now the bond market, which is the biggest market in the world, is showing major signs of trouble, major signs of issues. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all for being here. I want to say hi to a few of you in the comments. Hello, Debbie. All right. Hello, Little Red. Hello, Morgan. Hello, The Truth. It's donkey time. Yeah, it's interesting what is happening. Let's see if we can say hi to a few more people here. Little Red, Penny, Debbie, Ryan O, H, Jerry Mandarin, Mr. Man. Hello, Ryan H. Hello. Okay, let's get up here. Justin Braham, Thomas Larson, YouTube. Hey, Thomas, keep it up with the YouTube. All right, it's very fun. It's such a big deal. It's such an honor that I get to hang out with you guys in the basement. Okay, I know, right? I mean, we are all individual people all over the world. I really do feel like you're part of a community. I feel like I'm part of a community. It's a big deal when you come here. Please subscribe to the channel. Super chat, super thanks things. Never expected, always appreciated. All right, but I just want you to come back and join us here again. Please subscribe. Consider subscribing. Susie always hits me with my shot collar to say that to you. But number one, okay, be good, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.